Hey guys, what's up? It's Awesome Sports 13 here. And I am here with sign-up series number 44. Here with the 6-lane raceway. And let's go racing.
And I'll show you guys the field of trucks right now.
But before we do kick things off, I do want to say, I do want to give a warm thank you and welcome back to Mario Minecraft, man. I'm so glad you're back. I used to watch you all the time back in like 2020. And I'm very happy that you're back, so welcome back. And just before I do start the sign-up series, I will drop Mario Minecraft's YouTube channel in the description, so make sure you go subscribe to him, sign up for his sign-up series, and check him out. So Mario Minecraft, making his sign-up series return, is going to be piloting the hyper-fueled Max D. He is going to be taking on Bad Habit in the first round. But with that out of the way, let's go ahead and go racing. And we're going to kick things off with Soldier Fortune Black Ops taking on Excalibur. Sign-up series 44 is underway. The first winner is going to be Excalibur, taking the win over Soldier Fortune Black Ops. Next up, we have Blue Thunder taking on Grease Trap. And what a race. This is really close. But as you guys can tell, we can go down from the aerial view. And Blue Thunder, as you can tell at the top of your screen, Blue Thunder will take the win over Grease Trap. Next up is the phased out Earthshaker taking on Scarlet Bandit. And it will be, what a race! This is incredible. Let's go ahead and see. Oh man. As you guys can tell, by a hair length, as you guys can tell right there, the phased out Earthshaker will edge out Scarlet Bandit, and Scarlet Bandit was making her sign-up series return. Unbelievable way to start off this series. Next up, we have Sparkle Smash, the debuting Sparkle Smash from the double pack, taking on Velociraptor. And it will be Velociraptor taking the win. Next up is the hyper-fueled Max D taking on Bad Habit. And what a race. This is really close. Great race. As you guys can tell, going down, Bad Habit will beat Max D. Next up is Big Kahuna taking on the Overcast Zombie. And great race. That is, I think, the Overcast Zombie, and it is, taking the win over Big Kahuna. Next up, we have the Purple Jurassic Attack taking on Earthshaker. And what a race, but it will be Earthshaker taking the win. Next up, we have Rainbow Blast taking on Recreation. And great race, but it will be Recreation pulling off the upset win. Next up is the Yellow Zombie taking on Brodozer. And Yellow Zombie will beat Brodozer. Next up is Backwards Bob taking on the debuting Lumberjack. And Backwards Bob, with a full head of steam, takes the win. Next up is El Toro Loco taking on the debuting Blue Kraken. And it will be El Toro Loco. Next up is Crush Cycle taking on Bulldozer. And what a race! But that is Crush Cycle taking the win. Next up is Bad Company taking on the Great Clips Mohawk Warrior. And Bad Company with a comeback win. And also, another thing I forgot to mention for this sign-up series is that I actually brought back the high jump binder. So, meaning that it goes higher when it jumps off. You know what I mean. But next up, we have the Hyperfueled Calavera taking on Dragon. And the Hyperfueled Calavera barely takes the win. Next up is Bounty Hunter taking on the debuting Overcharged Blue Thunder. And Overcharged Blue Thunder with a full head of steam takes the win. Next up is Iron Outlaw taking on Bakugan Dragonoid. And what an incredible race. but that is Bakugan Dragonoid barely taking the win. Next up, we have Axe taking on Megalodon. And what a race! But Axe will beat Megalodon in his debut with a block. Next up, we have the Lucas Stabilizer taking on the 25th Anniversary Avenger. And another incredible race, but the 25th Anniversary Avenger will take the win. Next up is Stone Crusher taking on the Overcast Gravedigger. And Stone Crusher will take the win. Next up, we have the Mercury Monster Mutt taking on Rage. Rage has the lead, but Mercury Monster Mutt with an amazing comeback, sorry for my stutter, as he takes the win over Rage. Next up is Scooby-Doo taking on the Phased Out Pirate's Curse. And what a race, but the Phased Out Pirate's Curse will take the win over Scooby-Doo with a block. Next up, we have the debuting Golden Maximum Destruction taking on the Boneyard Megalodon. And what an incredible race. But I think it is the Boneyard Megalodon, and it is taking the win over the Gold Maximum Destruction. Next up is Carnage Asada taking on Double Decker. And it will be Carnage Asada, I think, yes, taking the win. Next up is the debuting Pickup Truck Sparkle Smash taking on the Ride Truck Megalodon. And what a race! This is close, but it is the Ride Truck Megalodon taking the win. Next up is Crustacean taking on Whiplash. Crustacean with a huge lead, and he'll keep it, taking the win. Next up, we have Superman taking on Shaker. And what an incredible race. This is really close. Oh man, we're gonna have to go down from the aerial view. But as you guys can tell at the top of your screen, just barely, Shaker will beat Superman. Next up, we have the debuting Hooked taking on the Burn Victim Zombie. And what a race, but the Burn Victim Zombie with a comeback win, taking the win. Next up is Full Charge taking on the debuting Walmart Museum Truck. Huge lead. I don't really know what happened with... I don't know. Full Charge takes the win. I am very deeply sorry to whoever was in the Walmart Museum Truck. I do apologize to you, men. I think that was Turtle Returns 24. I am very sorry to you because that happened. But for Full Charge, that's a free win. I think Full Charge will take it. Next up is the Nomad Avenger taking on the Black Max D. And it's going to be the Black Max D taking the win. Next up is Captain's Curse taking on the Ride Truck Gravedigger. And Captain's Curse with a comeback win. Next up, we have Storm Damage taking on the debuting 25th Anniversary Gravedigger. Gravedigger with a huge lead, and he'll keep it, taking the win. And the final race of round number 1 will feature the Boneyard Zombie taking on Racing Stripes. And it will be, what an incredible race. But just barely, it's going to be Racing Stripes. Alright, you guys, here's our matchups for round number 2. And let's go racing. We're going to kick things off with Excalibur taking on Blue Thunder. And it's going to be Excalibur taking the win over Blue Thunder. Next up is the Phased Out Earthshaker taking on Velociraptor. And it's going to be the Phased Out Earthshaker taking the win. Next up is Bad Habit taking on the Overcast Zombie. And it's going to be, what a race! That is really close. But it will be Bad Habit taking the win over Overcast Zombie. Next up is Earthshaker taking on Recreation. And what a race! This is really close. Great battle between these two. But as you guys can tell, looking at the top of your screen, Recreation will beat Earthshaker by a tire. Next up, we have the Yellow Zombie taking on Backwards Bob. And what a race! I think that is Backwards Bob. This is close. Let's go down from the aerial view. And it is just barely taking the win over Yellow Zombie. Next up, we have El Toro Loco taking on Crush Cycle. And El Toro Loco will take the win. Next up is Bad Company taking on the Hyperfield Calavera. And an incredible race. But it will be the Hyperfield Calavera going all the way and taking the win. Next up is the Overcharged Blue Thunder taking on Bakugan Dragonoid. And it will be the Overcharged Blue Thunder in his debut taking the win. Next up, we have Axe taking on the 25th Anniversary Avenger. And another comeback win for the 25th Anniversary Avenger as he defeats Axe. Next up is Stone Crusher taking on the Mercury Monster Mutt. And it will be the Mercury Monster Mutt taking the win. Next up, we have the Phased Out Pirate's Curse taking on the Boneyard Megalodon. And it will be the Phased Out Pirate's Curse with a comeback win. Next up is Carnage Asada taking on the Rye Truck Megalodon. And it's going to be an incredible race. This is really close. Unbelievable. These two are like dead even. Well, let's go down from the aerial view. Oh, and as you guys can tell at the top of your screen, the back tire of Carnage Asada is just barely out further than Megalodon's. What a race. This is probably race of the series. Carnage Asada takes the win. Next up is Crustacean taking on Shaker. And an incredible race yet again. But let's see who takes it though. As you guys can tell at the top of your screen, Shaker will beat Crustacean. Next up, we have the Burn Victim Zombie taking on Full Charge. And another incredible race. Who got him, though? It's close. Let's go down from the aerial view. It is just barely the Burn Victim Zombie taking the win. Next up, we have the Black Max D taking on Captain's Curse. And it will be the Black Max D taking the win. In the final race of round number 2, will feature the 25th Anniversary Gravedigger taking on Racing Stripes. And it's going to be an incredible race. But it will be the 25th Anniversary Gravedigger in his debut taking the win. Alright, you guys, and here's our matchups for round number 3. The round after this is the quarterfinals. So, let's go ahead and see who is going to the quarterfinals of Series 44. And who is going to the quarterfinals of Sign Up Series 44. It will be Excalibur. Next up, we have a mixed 33 battle between Bad Habit and Recreation. And it will be Recreation taking the win. Next up is Backwards Bob taking on El Toro Loco. And it will be an incredible race. Let's see who got it, though. And it will be El Toro Loco taking the win over Backwards Bob. Next up is the Hyper-Fueled Calavera taking on the Overcharged Blue Thunder. And it will be the Hyper-Fueled Calavera taking the win. Next up, we have the 25th Anniversary Avenger taking on the Mercury Monster Mutt. And it will be an incredible race. Let's see who got it. As you guys can tell, the Mercury Monster Mutt will beat the 25th Anniversary Avenger. Next up is the Phased Out Pirate's Curse taking on Carnage Asada. Carnage Asada with a huge lead, and he loses it as Pirate's Curse makes a comeback win. Next up is Shaker taking on the Burn Victim Zombie. And it will be Shaker with a comeback win. And the final race before the quarterfinals will feature the Black Max D and the 25th Anniversary Gravedigger, the final debuting truck remaining. And an incredible race between these two. And let's see who got it. This is really, really close. Let's go down from the aerial view. Oh, this is really close. Oh, but going down from the aerial view, as you guys can tell, right there, just barely, by a hair, the 25th anniversary Gravedigger will take the win. What a race.
All right, you guys, and this is it. This is the quarterfinals of Series 44. And the round after this, which is the semifinals, which will be the final four, I'll start reading off the drivers of each truck. So, who is going to the semifinals of Series 44?
And who is going to the semifinals? It will be Excalibur beating Recreation. Next up, we have El Toro Loco taking on the Hyperfield Calavera. And it will be Calavera taking the win. Next up, we have the Mercury Monster Mutt taking on the phased out Pirate's Curse. And it will be the phased out Pirate's Curse. What a win. And the final race of the quarterfinals will feature Shaker and the 25th anniversary Gravedigger. And what an incredible race. This is really close. Here we go. As you guys can tell, by a tire, Shaker will beat the 25th anniversary Gravedigger.
All right, you guys, and here is our semifinals for sign-up series number 44. Let's go over your field of trucks. Inside of Excalibur, we have Monster Jam Fan 25. Inside of the Hyperfield Calavera, we have ER11 Archives. Inside of the Phased Out Pirate's Curse, we have Tie Triplet. And inside of Shaker, we have Chase to Star. Who is going to the championship race?
And who is going to the championship race of sign-up series number 44? It will be Excalibur. And who will meet Monster Jam Fan 25 in the championship race? Tie Triplet or Chase to Star? It will be an incredible race. But it will be Chase the Star in Shaker. And then there were two. Inside of Excalibur, we have Monster Jam Fan 25. And inside of Shaker, we have Chase the Star. Both trucks have never made it to a championship series before. And now they have today. Both of them are Star Creations Monster Jam trucks. Both with very similar body styles. But with that out of the way, the winner of Sign Up Series 44 is going to be none other than an incredible race. But it will be Monster Jam Fan 25 in Excalibur. Congratulations, Monster Jam Fan 25 in Excalibur. Excalibur has always been a fast truck. He has yet to win a sign-up series, but that is how all changed here today on the 6-lane raceway and the double and the binder stunt ramp returning to my sign-up series. Congratulations to you, man. So sorry to Chase the Star in Shaker. This truck did really well, surprisingly, in this sign-up series, but better luck next time in sign-up series number 45. This is an amazing looking truck, but sorry to you again, and better luck next time in Series 45. So, congratulations to Monster Jam Fan 25, and I'll see you guys in the next video.